Law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again. Easy, steady, big fella. Hail, Silver! Away! Burley Scott rode the trail toward Pecos with his companion Luke Baker. Burley, recently released from prison, was tough and hard. As they rode, he spoke grimly.
You should have heard that warden giving out with a lot of gab about getting a fresh start, Luke. That fool thinks I'm going to forget those 3 years of hard labor and go straight. And that's a laugh.
Got any plans, Burley?
Yeah, I got plans.
Maybe you could get another gang together. We could try...
Nah, that'll come later, Luke.
What do you figure on doing in the meantime?
Something I've been thinking about for some time. Let me show you something.
Whoa.
Here, look at this.
What do you know? Nobody'd suspect you'd be wearing a fancy gold locket on a gold chain.
Listen, Luke, if you want to make jokes, I'm gonna...
Take it easy, Burley. It's no use getting riled at me for nothing. Look, I'm surprised to see you have something like that, that's all.
I don't like to be laughed at, you savvy, Luke.
Sure. What about the locket?
Here, let me open it.
That's a mighty pretty little girl. Pretty woman, too. Who are they?
It's my wife and kid. The young'un was 2 years old then. That was 10 years ago.
Oh, where are they now? Do you know?
Yeah, my wife left me when she found out I was an outlaw. Took the girl, little Sally, with her. Never saw him again.
That was tough.
Yeah. Get up. Let's go.
Why'd you show me that, Burley? What's it got to do with you not starting another gang right now?
Lady, after she divorced me, my wife married someone else. An hombre named Fairfield who owns a ranch near Pecos.
You don't figure on stopping in to see him after all these years, do you?
Listen, Luke, an old pal of mine was brought to the prison a couple of months ago. He told me my former wife was dead. Died last year. Also told me Jack Fairfield was worth plenty. That ranch he owns, the Bar F, is mighty prosperous.
Well, what's that to you?
My pal found out that Fairfield thinks the world of Sally. She's 12 years old now. I figure she thinks he's her real father.
That's all good for the youngster, as I see it.
Maybe it is, but I aim to make Jack Fairfield pay plenty for me to keep my mouth shut.
And what if he doesn't?
I'll tell Sally the truth. If that don't work, well, I'll find some other way to make him pay.
Oh, come on, Burley. Give up this loco idea. We get a Pecos, I can get some hombres together. We can form
Hey,
a new...
my mind's made up, Luke. No use trying to talk me out of it. Now, let's get a move on. Get out!
A few miles from Pecos, the Lone Ranger and his Indian companion Tonto rode leisurely along the trail that bordered the Bar F Ranch.
Look, Kimosabe. Little squaw and pony wait near entrance to ranch.
She's already seen us, Tonto. I hope my mask doesn't frighten her.
Hello, mister.
Well, hello, little girl. Whoa, whoa, Silver. Whoa there.
Whoa, Scout.
My name's Sally, and I live here. Are you an outlaw?
No, Sally, we're not outlaws. You needn't be frightened.
Oh, I'm not frightened. Why do you wear that mask, mister?
I have my reasons, Sally. Maybe if we meet again sometime, I'll tell you.
Good. Aren't you afraid of that Indian?
No, Sally. Tonto's my friend. A very close and loyal friend.
That right, Sally. Him not be afraid of me.
You must be a good Indian. Daddy Jack says that there are good Indians and bad ones, just like there are good white men and bad ones.
That's right, Sally. Who's Daddy Jack?
Daddy Jack Fairfield. He's my adopted father, and he owns the Bar F Ranch.
Oh, yes, I've heard of him. Oh, that's a fine pony you have, Sally.
Daddy Jack gave him to me for my birthday. He gives me lots of nice presents. Today's my birthday. I'm 12 years old.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Did he give you that nice gold locket and chain, too?
Oh, no. Mama gave me that before she died. She told me my real daddy has one just like it. Goodbye. Come back soon. Now tell me, Daddy Jack.
Sally, darling, he wears that mask because he helps keep law and order in the West and tries to set things right for other people. He does those things because he loves his fellow man and he loves his country. It's his wish that nobody knows who he really is. But folks out this way, liking and respecting him for what his courage and kindness is, call him the Lone Ranger.
I am Silver! Hi!
This recreation of the Lone Ranger was created by Fran Stryker and George W. Trendle. The program was produced by Robert Burchett and was written by Dan Beatty. Today's performance was directed by Donald Ramlow, with sound effects by Barney Beck, assisted by Murray Shanzen and Eugene Ewan. Music was provided by Ed Clute, with assistance by Nana Clute. Featured in today's performance was Fred Foy, recreating his role of the Lone Ranger. Karen Hughes as Sally, Tom Filippetti as Tonto, Stephen Thompson as Burley Scott, Dan Hughes as Luke, Kathleen Drew as Mrs. Atkins, Mark Middlestad as Whiskers, Ken Borden as Joe, Dan Nather as Tex, R. Joel Center as Jack Fairfield, and Dan Hughes as the stage driver. This is your announcer, Fred Foy, saying I hope you had a good time today, and may we never forget the messages of goodness, honesty, and loyalty which the many episodes of The Lone Ranger, as portrayed by Brace Beemer, brought to us over the years. This recreation is copyrighted by Broadway Video, and no commercial sale or use of this recreation is allowed.
About when we audition. Every year, I never know what kind of talent pool I'm going to have. This year we were blessed with talent like you wouldn't believe auditioning. But one of the most pleasant surprises I had, and the timing was perfect, was when Karen Hughes was here to play the part of the little girl. She did a great job.